everybody, and thank you very much for stopping by for this very special review. I'm very honoured to have a guest with me today. You probably heard of him. He's one of the most famous people in the world. He's been in town for the Commonwealth Games and decided that, look, he loved my channel so much he wanted to come and see blockers with me. So joining me for this review today is His Royal Highness Prince Charles. So, Prince Charles, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be in my review. I really appreciate it.
Oh, goodness, no, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me on your wonderful show.
Okay, so Blockers is a movie that I had no intention of seeing. From the trailers, it just kind of looked like another teenage sex comedy that we've seen 1,000 times before. There's a directorial debut for Kay Cannon, and it's the story of three girls who grow up through early childhood, and come the time of their prom, they decide to make a sex pact. They're all gonna get laid on the same night.
Oh, good heavens, those little tramps.
Well, you know, you got to start sometime. So the parents of these three girls, played by Leslie Mann, John Cena, and Ike Barinholtz, who's one of those actors who, you know, you just know him from somewhere. You said that to me, didn't you?
Yes, and quite frankly, even after you've just said his name, I still don't remember it.
Yeah, exactly. So they play the parents of these girls, and they catch on to what's about to happen, so they decide to block them, although this movie is meant to be called Cock Blockers, but of course they can't use that word.
Yes, I don't think Mummy would ever approve of something like that being shown at Buckingham Palace.
I'm curious, actually, what sort of things do you guys actually watch at Buckingham Palace?
Oh, you know, the likes of Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, basically anything that has Colin Firth in it.
Right, so they use a picture of a rooster in its place, a cock.
Well, then perhaps we should just call it Rooster Blockers. What do you think?
Well, yeah, you could call it that, I suppose, but I don't know. It doesn't sound right anyway. So look, yeah, like I said, I had no intention of seeing this movie, but the reviews haven't been too bad, so I thought, look, maybe I'll check it out. Prince Charles wanted to see it.
Well, quite frankly, most of the other movies out now, they look a bit dull. That Wrinkle in Time looks like absolute crap.
Right, so we went along to see it, and look, it's actually surprisingly good. Look, this movie had a lot of laughs to it. There was a lot of really funny laugh-out-loud moments. The performances I thought were great. John Cena was a standout for me. I mean, this guy was a pro wrestler. Did you ever watch him back in the wrestling days?
Oh, what, you mean like the Greco-Roman style? Yes.
Yeah, no, not really that kind of wrestling. This is more the stuff where, like, they beat each other up with chairs and things like that.
Oh, good heavens, that sounds positively deplorable.
Yeah, so, look, maybe it was just seeing this guy, this, like, really big guy that should be playing, like, hardcore action roles or something, in this kind of a movie where, you know, he was kind of silly, but not over the top silly, and yeah, he was fun to watch. Everyone else, yeah, was really great. The chemistry between the three girls was great. They were so believable as best friends. And I really felt that this movie found a right balance between what was going on with the girls and what was going on with the parents, because it was more so the parents' story of them trying to come to terms with their girls having sex for the first time. But while it primarily focused on the parents' story, it did show enough of what the girls were doing, so it didn't just make it one or the other. But like I said, I was really surprised by just how funny it was. Unfortunately, the trailer gives away a couple of the really good jokes.
Speaking of jokes, I have quite a good one for you.
Okay, go on.
Why is it that I am so good at communicating with sea creatures?
I have no idea.
Because I am the Prince of Wales. Get it? Wales.
That's a good one.
As in Wales.
The jokes were better than that. So overall, I thought that Kay Cannon did a really good job of making this feel a little bit different to your typical American Pie kind of sex comedies. It actually had a little bit of heart to it, you know, particularly towards the end in the third act. Not going to say what happens, of course, but yeah, there were just some moments that were kind of tender and yeah, sort of get you in the feels just a little bit. But while I really enjoyed the movie and definitely had a good time with it, the runtime I thought was maybe a little bit too long. It goes for an hour 40 something, and I thought it maybe could have been trimmed back by about maybe 15-20 minutes. And aside from that, there were just some serious shifts in tone. At one point, it kind of forgets to be a comedy a little bit. Maybe I think towards the end of the second act. It picks up again, but yeah, there was a bit of a shift there. And I think there were some scenes that were seriously heavily cut. One scene in particular where, again, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but it involves, you know.
Oh, well, you're talking about that scene with the close-up of that gentleman's, you know, todger.
Well, yeah, come on. My viewers know what to expect. You can say what you want to say.
Well, his dick and balls then was confronted by this man's dick and balls.
There you go. So yeah, it involves that. And all of a sudden the next scene just starts with the same characters. They're somewhere else, and like, it just seemed really jarring. It was like, well, hang on, what happened in between these two bits? And there were a couple of moments in the film that I thought, yeah, probably had a deleted scene or something cut out. I know in the trailer there were some bits that we didn't see in the film, so yeah, I think it was cut a bit too heavily.
But hang on, just a moment ago you said that they should have cut it down some more.
Well, yeah, I know, but oh, shut up.
You're not very good at this movie reviewing, are you?
And aside from that, even though the movie did put a slightly different slant on the typical sex comedy, at the same time it was a little bit predictable. There were a lot of moments towards the end that, yeah, you know how it's going to play out. So yeah, but look, overall we had a good time with this film. You know, it's one of those movies that when it's on you can completely enjoy it. I will probably get it on Blu-ray, not on day one. It's probably more you know, down the track when it's in the discount bin sort of a purchase, but overall I'm going to give Blockers a 7.5 out of 10. And once again, a really big thank you to Prince Charles for, being part of this review, coming to see the movie with me. We had a really great time, and let's do it again sometime. What do you think?
No, the pleasure was all mine. To use some colloquial Australian slang, it's been fully sick, mate.
Alright, so stay tuned to my channel. We've got plenty more movie reviews coming up. Also, there's going to be another prize giveaway coming up for Avengers Infinity War, which is like really close now, so stay tuned for all that. In the meantime, if you have seen Blockers or Cock Blockers or whatever the heck you want to call it, let me know what you thought of it. Drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below, because I like to talk about movies with Prince Charles, and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.